Hi everyone, my name is Kim Kalasia. I'm really excited to meet all of you and start this program on our way to earning our doctorates in education. So a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Connecticut. In 2010, I graduated from Salve Regina University. I had my degree was secondary education and English. When I was done with that, I joined the Peace Corps and was stationed in Namibia. I was a sixth grade English language teacher. I had to, well, I attempted to learn a click language. It was very hard. Um, and for those of you who aren't wondering, Namibia is on the southwestern tip of Africa, right next to South Africa. If it sounds familiar, Angelina Jolie had one of her and Brad Pitt's babies there right around the time I went, and that was the huge claim to fame whenever I mentioned it to anybody. One day I'm going to be playing trivia and I'll get that question and I'll win. I just know it. When I came back from the Peace Corps, I went to Southern Connecticut State University to get my master's in special education. When I was done with my master's, I moved to Hawaii and I lived on the island of Oahu. From 2012 to 2018, I was teaching 11th and 12th grade English, and Hawaii is probably the place where I had the largest leadership role. It wasn't as a supervisor or in a like head of department type role, but I was the class advisor for the class of 2018. So from the time those student government kids were freshmen all the way through their senior year, we worked together, and most of them stayed with me all 4 years. We worked together to plan proms and assemblies and get information disseminated to parents about different things, the graduation, we fundraised, all of that. So it was really interesting to have this role where I'm teaching young people kind of how to lead their class and how to help their class. I really loved it. When I came back to Connecticut in 2018, it was pretty cool. I shipped my car to LA, and then my best friend and I flew from Hawaii to LA and drove my car along the southern route and did this like big cross country road trip. It was a lot of fun. We took the southern route, so it was like Arizona and New Mexico and stuff like that. I highly recommend the Grand Canyon to anybody who has not been. I started in 2018 as an 8th grade English teacher in Waterbury, Connecticut, which is one of the bigger cities in Connecticut. I think it's in the top 3 or 4. It was hit pretty bad by the pandemic in the spring, and so right now we're doing a hybrid model where only right now 30% of our kids are coming in person, supposedly starting on the 8th, but we all just have a lot of doubts. At the school, again, my real leadership role is working with the kids. So I'm in charge of the dance committee where we plan all the dances as a fundraiser for the end of year events. That's not happening this year though. And then I'm also the yearbook advisor, so I run that club. And that is bringing me nothing but stress because we don't have sports and portraits are going to be a problem. So if anyone has any brilliant ideas on how to fill a yearbook when the school is socially distancing, I would love to know. I'm all ears for real. And then just in August, I finished my 6th year with the University of New England and decided to just keep going while I was already used to being in school again. The 2 leadership styles I really connected with were transformative and steward leadership. I think that they really connect with teachers. It sounded really familiar to me. Bass says that stewards try to balance their interests of all the different constituents of their organization: shareholders, owners, managers, peers, subordinates, customers, clients, and community. And that just sounds like such a role to a teacher. Whenever you talk about differentiation or getting information out there, it's the whole idea of stakeholders, shareholders. How are you involving parents? How are you involving the community? How are you working with other teachers collaboratively? How are you working with the administration to meet the needs of this one student while also including them in the process, especially in the more secondary ages? So that just really connected to me. I think a really good leader is able to delegate certain tasks and knows that certain people are better at certain things and know certain things. Being a leader doesn't mean being in control or doing everything or having all the power. It's motivating people to be their best selves, and in my opinion. And steward leadership really seems to allow other people to shine, and therefore you get a task accomplished to the best of its ability. I also liked transformative leadership, which Bass once again says transformative leadership can be conceptually organized along the 4 correlated dimensions: charismatic leadership, inspirational leadership, intellectual stimulation, and individual considerations. And again, that is just teaching to me. It is engaging students, it's motivating them to be their best selves, it's handling their academics, and also taking social emotional growth into the picture. For myself, social emotional has always been extremely important. The population of students I work with, a large percentage are in foster care, well below the poverty line, just different issues that go along with those things. And so if they don't feel supported and cared about, how could they ever reach a higher intellectual stimulation, academic achievement? And it was a big area of concern for myself and my colleagues when we went out on the pandemic, and it's still a big area of concern. The school is actually adding a whole social emotional learning period to the day now because we're so concerned about that. But yeah, so steward and transformative leadership are just really the two that struck me the most. I think that they are most connected to teaching, and I think that they strive to allow everybody in a community to thrive and to reach their full potential. And as a leader, that's what you want. You want everybody doing their best. You want everybody motivated. To rule by fear, you'll never get great results. But to rule through inspiration and motivation, you'll have people reaching new heights all the time and doing things that both they and you didn't think were possible, ideally. So it was very nice meeting you all. The last slide is just my reference. So thank you so much.